Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game Season 2, Episode 77. This is NXT Takeover Wargames, which is being held by NXT in front of 12,178 fans at the Tennessee's AutoZone Park. Let's get straight into the action, guys. We have a big show for you guys tonight. Tom Phillips, Nigel McGuinness, and Steve Carino welcome us to NXT TakeOver Wargames. Tom Phillips says that tonight we will have one hell of a show for each and every one of you fans in attendance and at home, and quite frankly, the card is stacked to the top because including the headline match, says Tom Phillips, we're going to have for the first time ever a double cage Wargames match here in NXT between House NXT, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, DIY, and Sami Zayn, who will take on the Elite, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Kenny Omega. So we got the angle off to a crowd start. We have an 86B plus. For those of you who follow along will know that's a little high for our welcome to the show announcer segment, but I'm not gonna lie, I have Triple H off camera in this one to simply hype up the crowd, and why wouldn't he, given it's an NXT TakeOver special. In the opening match, Bobby Roode defeats Eric Young in 13:53 by pinfall with a payoff. A 73B for Bobby Roode, 61 for Eric Young, who is improving in performance and technical as always. We've advanced the storyline but lost heat. Controlled Chaos has advanced. Now the next TakeOver special will be Brooklyn 4, so we're going to end all of our storylines, pretty much all of our storylines after tonight in preparation of that TakeOver special. This one obviously coming to a head, which is Bobby Roode and Eric Young, after Bobby Roode decided to team up with the Revival to take on Sanity. Alrighty. Coming up next, we get a promo where Sanity lost to the Revival on NXT TV and then attacked them brutally after a match, bloodying Dash and Dawson. Dash and Dawson would ask for revenge, but Titus wanted them to wait given their conditions. However, granted them a match at NXT TakeOver Wargames, which is tonight, as long as they could wait. They couldn't, but have. And coming up next, we're going to see the Revival, Dash and Dawson, take on Sanity's Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane. So, again, the Controlled Chaos storyline has advanced and gained heat. Alright, and in a decent match, the Revival defeats Sanity in 12:53 when Dash Wilder defeats Alexander Wolf by pinfall with a Shatter Machine. 71 for Dash, 67 for Wilder. 71 for Dawson, 67 for Wilder. Dane and Wolf with the respectable 57, 59 performances. And these teams seem to have quite a decent amount of chemistry. 70B plus. Now, this was a brawl-based match, storytelling. Okay, yeah, well, this was a brawl-based match, so obviously their Sanity will perform better in those types of matches, and that's exactly what we did here. But the Revival ridding themselves of Sanity as well as Bobby Roode, and they will all be moving on to different programs coming out of this TakeOver special. But it's 70C plus, so not bad. Backstage now, we see House NXT, DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa, and Sami Zayn getting ready for the main event Wargames match. They are facing the Elite. Alright, Sami Zayn is getting better at his gimmick, and then segment deserves better announcing. Well, Tom Phillips, Nigel McGuinness, and Steve Carino, step your shit up. It's TakeOver, guys. 88B plus. Next up, we see Titus O'Neil through William Regal's via video decree creating the secondary NXT Women's Championship. Now, the championship in which Bayley holds will go from the NXT World Women's Championship to the NXT Women's World Championship, and the newly created secondary championship will be named the NXT Women's Intercontinental Championship as an homage to WWE. which will feature Titus O'Neil, will have a little bit in qualifying matches. It will now feature Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, Billie Kay, and Ruby Riott in a fatal 4-way. Now, I had asked people on Fantasy Bookers, the subreddit, what I should name the championship, and there was a lot of great feedback, but I decided to change Bayley's to the NXT Women's World Championship, and then go ahead and create the secondary championship as the Women's Intercontinental Championship as an homage to WWE, and I think it fits just with the whole narrative, them being the child company. Ruby Riott was good here, 71C. Let's see what we can get out of these 4 women. Hopefully a 70. 73, excellent. And about that, superb wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Ruby Riott of the Ellering Alliance defeats Sasha Banks, Billie Kay, and Ember Moon in 8 minutes when Riott defeats Moon by pinfall with the Heidi Ho. Ruby Riott wins the NXT Women's Intercontinental Championship. 80, 81, 82, 80, 74 here. A 73 B-. Obviously, this was an eye candy-based match. Based where it is on the card, I needed to break up the segments a little bit. And these 4 women can go, so it kind of boosted our rating a little bit. Sasha Banks is improving in Rumble skills. And I'm not going to do this on NXT TV as much with the whole eye candy stuff, but we are pushing in TV 14 product. Obviously, the women in NXT wear a little more seductive outfits than they would be on the WWE brand a lot of the time. I can think of Lacey Evans, a couple of the other ones in there in NXT now that wear really revealing outfits. And we are pushing a TV 14 product going forward, so having eye candy based matches with workers is something, I'm really contributing, not necessarily to bra and panties matches, but eye candy based. Ember Moon's is revealing, Sasha's is revealing, stuff like that. They're wearing revealing outfits, so we can get away with an eye candy based match. But they're good in ring, so we're going to get good ratings. 73 B-. The bell sounds, and Ruby Riott now has become the first ever NXT Women's Intercontinental champion. Rachel Ellering has gotten into the ring and taken the championship from the referee, putting it on the waist of the woman she brought into the Ellering Alliance, Ruby Riott. Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, and Billie Kay look at Ruby Riott alongside Rachel Ellering, who are celebrating. So yeah, Ruby Riott of the Ellering Alliance is your NXT Women's Intercontinental Championship. I could have went with Sasha here. I don't want to say she's above this championship because she hasn't really done much in our NXT. Maybe because she's a former WWE Women's Champion, one might perceive her above it, but she's not. But we decided to go with Ruby Riott here and push the Ellering Alliance a little bit. 65C. A little bit. I pushed the Ellering Alliance hard, but push them further. Next up, we get a recap of TJ Perkins defeating Roddy Strong clean in the center of the ring at the NXT Mega 12 Juniors Day 4. We see TJP bragging about it to Roddy Strong and asking Titus O'Neil for a championship match for the NXT Junior Heavyweight Championship, given Ty Dillinger got one after defeating Roddy as well. A precedent had been set. So these two are going to face off. TJP was poor with his improvising dialogue. That's all right. 70C+, Roddy Strong and TJP. Let's see what happens here. I'm a little nervous to see what they're going to get. This is the 4th match on the show, but let's see what we get here. Hopefully a 70. Both are very strong technical in ring. I made this match a little more technical based. Let's see what we get. I'll take it. In a decent match, Roddy Strong defeats TJP in 12:01 via the Stronghold. Roddy Strong makes defense number 2 of his NXT Junior Heavyweight Championship. So that's great. Roddy Strong with the victory here over TJP. This match got the crowd buzzing. 66 for Strong, 57 for TJP. There's no skill improvements, but that's okay. We gained and advanced the NXT Mega 12 Junior storyline. 70C+. The bell sounds as Roddy Strong yet again retains the NXT Junior Heavyweight Championship, this time over TJ Perkins. Roderick Strong has handed the championship back, and he raises it high above his head. The camera quickly shifts backstage and lands on Aleister Black, and then shades again showing Cedric Alexander and Oney Lorcan, the other faces in the NXT Mega 12 Junior Tournament, all wanting a shot at Roddy Strong. So basically we're just showing the guys backstage, showing that, they were watching this match vividly because they're all in the tournament, and they all want to become the Mega 12 Juniors first year champion, but they also want a shot at Roddy Strong. So this was just getting a couple other guys on the show to really put over the title and put over the prestige of the championship. 76B-. All right, next up, we see the Elite backstage, the Young Bucks and Matt and Nick Jackson getting ready for the main event. They are facing House NXT tonight. So again, no skill improvements, but this program's not going on for a while. We're going to end it after the show. Matt and Nick Jackson and Kenny Omega. What a crazy long program we've had. And tonight, we're going to end it. 89A. At least for the time being. We get a video hyping next. The NXT TakeOver special will be NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. So William Regal is shown. What does that mean? Why is William Regal being shown in the promo package? Well, we'll have to find out on the next NXT. 83B+. He's only been gone for 3 months, and it's supposed to be for 6. Initially, when I had said it, I meant 3 months, but I booked it as 6 in-game, so I kind of went with it. But William Regal will be back on NXT TV this coming edition, and we're going to move past the Titus O'Neil stuff. He was good while it lasted. It made sense while it lasted, but it's been 3 months. Even though I accidentally typed 6 in, it's been 3 months. William Regal will be back, and it makes sense given the Manifest Destiny storyline anyway with Asuka and Pete Dunne, as well as Tyler Bate, and with William Regal getting involved as well, costing them the championship. So an 83B+. Next up, we get the massive hype as it relates to the NXT Heavyweight Championship match, including Mr. NXT Season 2, Episode 1 cash-in on Bobby Roode, where the championship went from Bobby Roode to Almas, then Almas back to Roode, then Mr. NXT cashing in. For those of you who don't remember, the premiere episode of Season 2 was fantastic. We see the dominance of the Ellering Alliance and Regal after 20-plus successful championship title defenses, giving Paul Ellering a single NXT Heavyweight Championship opportunity, and instead of giving it to one of the authors, him shocking the world and bringing in Brodus Clay. Tonight, we find out if that was the right move, because up next, Mr. NXT with Mrs. NXT defends his NXT Heavyweight Championship against Brodus Clay with Paul Ellering of the Ellering Alliance, and that's coming up now. We see if Brodus Clay can add another championship to the already stacked now with Ruby Riot's NXT Women's Intercontinental Championship and the Authors of Pain's Tag Team Championships. Can they add another? Mr. NXT is getting stale. We'll have to look at that. Announcing was awful. Mr. NXT was good, though, and Brodus Clay was good, so that's great. Mr. NXT misses and Brodus Clay. So we advance to the segment and Gate Heat, 84B+. In a good match, Mr. NXT defeats Brodus Clay in 13-18 by pinfall with a high-speed roundhouse kick. Mr. NXT makes defense number 1 of his NXT Heavyweight Championship, a 57C-. Mr. NXT obviously didn't defend it. The last Takeover special as Brodus, Almas, and Roode fought. And Brodus Clay, after having the championship opportunity because of how dominant the Authors was, loses to Mr. NXT in the middle of the ring clean. So a 66 for Clay, 72 for NXT. I'm not really sure why this got a 57C-. Maybe because it was a heel versus heel matchup. I don't know. That's not great. But the rest of our Takeover special has been great. And I knew this match was going to disappoint a little bit because Brodus is limited in the ring, but it's a story I wanted to tell to move on. So 57C-. Mr. NXT has somehow found a way to defeat Brodus Clay against all odds. The NXT Heavyweight Championship stays with Mr. NXT clean as a whistle for a heel, no less. Mr. NXT falls into the arms of Mrs. NXT, barely being able to stand as the two begin to embrace and make their way up the ramp. Paul Ellering looking at the false Brodus Clay, unwavering in his anger. Paul Ellering gets into the ring and stands over Brodus Clay, who's slowly coming to, shouting. Mr. NXT is getting stale. Segment is better announcing. Mr. NXT was good, though. Mrs. NXT was good, so he did good with his shitty gimmick, I guess. 83B+. The Ellering Alliance now, Authors of Pain theme, hits as Rachel Ellering, Ruby Riott, and the Authors of Pain show up on the ramp with all their championships and slowly make their way down the ring. As they finally reach Paul Ellering, he screams again at Brodus Clay, who's on his feet, and puffs his chest up to Paul Ellering, who continues to scream as the Authors of Pain are now in the ring. Akam and Razor surround Brodus Clay, beat him up viciously, and hit a single super collider on Brodus Clay, the duo screaming as Paul Ellering looks on approvingly with his daughter Rachel and Ruby standing next to him, them having lost the NXT Heavyweight Championship opportunity and being unable to add to their stable's championship. Still screaming is Paul Ellering over the fallen now, Brodus Clay. 91A, very solid here. Paul Ellering continues to scream the Authors of Pain to do it again, but they both surprisingly turn and look to Rachel Ellering, who looks at her father. Paul Ellering screams at his authors to take out Brodus again, but they just stand there. Paul looks at his daughter, and then the camera just focuses on Ruby, who begins to laugh. Rachel nods to Akam and Razor, who turn their attention to Paul Ellering slowly, kind of like the Red Batista, finger, thumbs down, slowly making their eyes to Paul Ellering, sending him down hard into the mat viciously as the fans are shocked. The Authors of Pain have just attacked Paul Ellering. The Authors of Pain, Akam, and Razor have just turned on Paul Ellering, aligning solely with his daughter Rachel Ellering and Ruby Riott. A microphone finds its way into Rachel's hands as the fans are now booing loudly. Old man, says Rachel, directed at her father Paul. The book you wrote for the Authors of Pain is old and outdated. These boys, says Rachel, running her hands sexually along their broad chest, Ruby Riott doing the same, are my authors. She is my champion. This is my Ellering dynasty. Rachel Ellering drops the mic, the crowd stunned, as after losing the championship match, the Authors of Pain won. For Paul Ellering and his Ellering Alliance, Rachel Ellering, along with her woman, not lesbian, Rachel Ellering, along with her woman Ruby Riott and Akam and Razor, turn on the man who wrote the book, Paul Ellering and Brodus Clay, kicking them out of his own Ellering Alliance to form the Ellering dynasty, which will be, again, Ruby Riott, Rachel Ellering, and the Authors of Pain. The crowd is absolutely stunned. This segment deserved better announcing. Paul Ellering looked dreadful in this segment. Akam looked good. No skill improvements. A 92A. This segment went down beautifully. And the Authors of Pain, Rachel Ellering and Ruby Riott, the Ellering dynasty, are stronger than ever, cutting out the dead weight. All right, next we hear referees screaming and shouting as the camera finds Dash and Dawson laid out cold. Their wrestling travel bags are near them, obviously, leaving after they had defeated Sanity earlier tonight. Who attacked the Revival? I will tell you guys one thing. It was not Sanity. It was not the team they just beat. So the Revival was laid out cold. They're found out cold, and no one has any idea who did it. 90A. Who took them out? We'll have to find out. We get a video package featuring all members in the NXT Takeover Wargames main event, Wargames match. We see DIY early success and the Young Bucks, Manic Jackson, being the reason why DIY lost their sole chance at the NXT Tag Team Championships. We see the taunting from the Bucks for months, the cheating from the Bucks, and the overall degeneracy. We see DIY finally getting one over, but only to have Kenny Omega debut, reform the Elite, and put them exactly where they started. We did see DIY grabbing a friend of theirs, Sami Zayn, to come in and form House NXT with DIY, the super good guy stable here in NXT. Just the Tanahashi stable in New Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling, very over, very babyface. The odds were evened and the matches were split, and they all couldn't stand one another. Tonight, they're locked inside a double steel cage known as Wargames, and it's coming up now. Ciampa was great. Zayn was great. Kenny was great. We need better announcing. Ciampa looked dreadful. Jackson came across well. And we've advanced the storyline and gained heat. We're going to get to that Wargames match, which will end the storyline. Hopefully it's an 85 plus. These are probably 6 of our 10 best workers. 88 fucking yes. Our best match rating ever. And an exceptional match. House NXT, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, and Sami Zayn defeat the Elite, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Kenny Omega in 23-33 when Johnny Gargano defeats Nick Jackson by submission with the Gargano no escape. Ciampa took a stump bump. Jackson took a stump bump. Zayn getting better with his gimmick. He had an 84, 82 for Ciampa, 81 for Gargano, Omega with an 86, Jackson with an 84, Jackson with an 86. My God, the Elite storyline has ended. We'll end it after the show, but my God, what an absolutely amazing match. 88 B+. This was 6 months in game of booking. I had all this written out, and to have it come out with an 88 B+ rating, our best match rating ever, I just could not be happier, everybody. This really was the icing on the cake, the cherry on the top of the sundae as it relates to my best rating ever. And really, the hottest storyline we've had in NXT for quite some time absolutely fucking delivers. The Young Bucks are getting better. Gargano getting better. I don't even care. This was such an amazing end to this program. After the match, the Wargames match lifts. Johnny Gargano gets to his feet as he stands the victor. The fans all cheering that House NXT was finally able to defeat the Elite. Tommaso Ciampa and Sami Zayn crawling towards Johnny Gargano. They reach him, pull themselves up, and all three men stand beaten, battered, and exhausted in the center of the ring. Their arms are raised. The final shot is a great one, with all three men for House NXT standing in the ring for what's fair, for what's right, standing in the ring for NXT. And this was all great. This was amazing here. No skill improvements. And we're going to end on an 88-89 with the House NXT Elite program ending. Just, again, 6 months of long-term booking. Just played out beautifully. This is exactly why I play this game. What a freaking match. 87 B+. I can tell you I've been playing TEW for probably 5 years. And this is my best show ever that I booked without WWE. But this is, I built this promotion from the ground up in terms of where the wrestlers were ranked and everything, and I'm just thrilled. 87 B+. I have Brooklyn 4 coming up next. I have no idea how the hell I'm gonna go ahead and beat that with this rating. I could have blown it off at Brooklyn 4, but I didn't want to extend it. I wanted to give kind of like the Brock and Strowman thing, Roman and Cena, kind of like a No Mercy type of B-level pay-per-view. A big show. This was a B-level takeover, and we gave it a huge main event in the War Games match. Just named NXT Takeover War Games, and I'm just beyond myself. 87B+. What an absolutely amazing show. This was NXT The Game, Season 2, Episode 77, NXT Takeover War Games. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I am just beyond myself right now, if you can't tell. Thanks for watching. Have a glorious day, and we'll be back in a couple days with the next edition of NXT, where we will find out, hopefully, what William Regal is going to do upon returning. Hopefully, get some more insight to what happened to Dash and Dawson, and hopefully settle out things with the Ellering Alliance. We have lots of stuff, lots of programs we've just started heading into NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. But again, this was NXT The Game, Season 2, Episode 77, NXT TakeOver War Games. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a glorious rest of your day.